Okay, hello everybody. Getting ready to do lesson 3.5 of Algebra 1, which is slope-intercept. It'll be part 1 of part 2 and part 3. Email me here for those. 3.5, graph using slope-intercept form. And we got a skill sheet here for the classwork of 30 points. And then we got 4 points here for notebook taking, part 1. Here's the standard. And teachers, here is the bell work. Multiple choice, write the fraction in simplest form, give your students about 3 minutes. I mean, they should really do this well. Okay, we're back, and the solutions here for 1 would be B, which expression is not equivalent to square root of 48. It would be 16. That would not be the case, because it would be factor out like this, and then that would become 4 times square root of 3. Which is not equivalent to it. This would be it, this would be it, that would be it, this is not it. And then write the fraction in simplest form, factor out. So let's see, 3, that'd be 7 over 2n squared. This would cancel out. Okay, 3.5, using slope-intercept form, we found slopes, graphed equations. You will graph linear equations using slope-intercept form. Lesson. Okay, so finding slope and y-intercept of line, words, symbols. Words, linear equation in the form y equals mx plus b is written in slope-intercept form, slope-intercept, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept of the equation's graph. Y equals mx plus b, slope would equal m. And then y equals 1/3 x plus 1. There's your slope here, it would be 1/3. And then your y-intercept would be here. The 1 would be your y-intercept. Okay, so graph. Here's a graph here of it. We have our slope here. We have a y-intercept of 0, 1. And then we have, here's our 1/3 here. So we have a rise of 1 and then a run of 3. So rise over run. The rise is 1. And then our run would be 3. That's why you have 1/3 here for our slope. Line. And see, identify slope and y-intercept. Identify slope and y-intercept of line with a given equation. So here's our equation. Y equals mx plus b. Slope of the line is 3. And the y-intercept would be 4 here. Slope there. And then b, 3x plus y equals 2. Where's our slope? You rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form by solving for y. So we have to solve for y to really find out, don't we? Let's solve for y. Y equals negative 3x plus 2. We move this over here. And then now, the slope is negative 3. Here's m. And then y-intercept would be 2. Here's our b there. Okay, got it, practice. Identify slope, y-intercept of the line given right here. Y equals 5x minus 3. Students, here's your problem here. Find the slope and y-intercept of this equation here. Okay, guided practice. Identify slope and y-intercept line with a given equation here. Slope is 5, or y-intercept being negative 3 here, negative 3. Line has slope of 5, y-intercept of negative 3. Yeah. Okay, we're going to get into example number 2 right now. Graph an equation using slope-intercept. Here's our equation. Rewrite the equation of slope-intercept. We got to solve for y. That's how you get into slope-intercept. You got to solve for y, okay? Identify slope and y-intercept. So our slope is here. Negative 2 is our m. And then our b would be 3. Plot the point that corresponds to y-intercept, which is 0, negative 3. When x equals 0, y equals negative 3, which would be right about there. Use the slope to locate a second point on the line. Draw a line through the 2 points. Well, okay. So here's our slope-intercept. And what was our slope for this? It was negative 2, right? So our rise is negative 2. We go down 2 and then over 1, positive 1. Negative 2, positive 1. That would be our negative slope there at 1, 1. Guide practice. Graph the equation y equals negative 2x plus 5. Okay. So graph the equation y equals negative 2x plus 5, x and then 0. So when x is 0, what's y equal? Y equals 5. So when x equals 0, y equals 5. When x equals 0, this is our y-intercept right here, positive 5. And then when x equals 1, in this case here, when x equals 1, what does y equal when x equals 1? Y equals 3, because 1 times negative 2 would be negative 2 plus 5 would be positive 3, yes? Okay, so now we get that. And then here's our point here. So when x equals 0, y equals 5, and when x equals 1, y equals 3, using this function here to find our other point here on our line, we go, what? We go down 1, 2, and we go over 1. Yeah, okay, that was our part 1 of 3.5. If you want part 2, part 3, email me here for worksheets, quizzes, tests, tutoring. Thank you.